Here's a really simple makeup, and I'm hoping that this is good for beginners. It does take some practice though with the liner. But first I'm using Soft Ochre Paint Pot, which is a primer. It's actually an eyeshadow base, but you can use it as a primer. And I'm putting that all over my eyelid. Then I'm using this Physicians Formula pen. It has like a calligraphy pencil brush tip. And so I'm doing very, very slowly, creating a wing liner. I'm trying to make this as perfect as I possibly can, but this can be fudged a little bit with the eyeshadow that we're using later on. So I'm bringing it over towards the center of my eyelid and really just stopping there, not bringing it all the way in the inner corner. And I know, as annoying as it sounds, eyeliner does take practice. I think probably about 2.5 years ago, I could not do this at all. I probably um, would have never done this because I would just get frustrated. So it does take practice, and the more you practice, the better you will get in it. I promise. So now I'm just doing this really quickly with my left eye, and then you can see I mess up here, and I just smudge it out with my finger, and then try again because I didn't get the angle quite right. So that's kind of how I work with is the angle of the wing. This is Carbon Eyeshadow by MAC, and I'm using a very dense, stiff eyeliner brush. This is actually the same brush that I used for my eyebrows, so I had to clean it off. But what I'm doing is just running it over the liner, and then when I get closer to the center, I am buffing it out a little bit more to create a smoky effect. So really what that means is that it's blurred out and you can't see the very defined line. So this does take a couple of times to kind of go through, add on, see where it needs more, see where there's any missing. So this is a time consuming thing, but it looks so effortless when it's finished. And I'm going to speed through the left eye. For mascara, I'm using Maybelline Falsies. I'm just kind of coating it on top because I already had mascara before, but I got some paint pot on it. So it's important to always make sure that your lashes are coated with a solid color. Now I'm using this eyeliner, which is by MAC. It's an eye kohl called Smolder, and I'm using that to line the top lash line. This really does make a huge difference when you're wearing eyeliner because if there's that weird skin gap, it tends to look a little unfinished. And so adding this eyeliner kohl on the top waterline will make a huge difference. It's really kind of creepy and scary, but eventually when you get used to it, it looks so much better. Now I'm just quickly doing my brows. I realize that now this zooming in was a little bit too zoomed in, but I'm just learning how to use this new software, so don't mind me. Now I'm using the Fit Me concealer underneath my eyes, and I wasn't in the shot when I was blending this out with a brush, but I use this with every single video. So I usually would do a fluffy brush, blend it out. Now for the contouring, I'm using the Sleek Contour Kit. And I'm using the bronzer as my contour color. And what I'm doing is I'm bringing it a little bit further down my cheeks and a little bit on my cheeks so it doesn't look so harsh. With this MAC blush called Cantaloupe, I'm using that as my blush and very lightly dusting it on the kind of bulk part of my cheek, not the tip of my cheek. This is what this was for. This is Pearl cream base, and I'm using it with my finger. It's a cream, and it's very, very bright, but it's definitely wearable if you're like an NC42. You can totally wear this if you're into that bright highlight. So I'm putting that and then buffing it out with a dual fiber brush. Because I want my everything on my face to really glow. I'm putting some a little bit down my nose and on the very, very tip of my nose. Um, Careful with this if you're doing it during the daytime, especially. It may look a little bit oily, and if you're oily already like me, I wouldn't recommend to do this during the day. But I like to do this at night when you can't really tell. So I'm setting all of my highlighting with Nylon Eyeshadow by MAC, and it's just a really good match for the Pearl Pigment um, cream base. And I'm dusting that on with a brush all over where I already put the highlight. For my lips, I'm using Magenta Lip Liner. I love magenta with so many colors. It's really good with Candy Yum Yum. It's good with Girl About Town. It's good with really any kind of red too. But I'm using this kind of chubby stick from Revlon, I think it was. It was called Shameless. And I smudged it a little. I mess up too. I leave it in. It's okay. And I'm using that as my lipstick, and it looks so creamy, and it really is. It does feel really creamy. It doesn't feel dry at all. This is a really nice alternative instead of using those very matte, dry lipsticks that MAC tends to have. If you're not really comfortable with those, these matte lip kind of balms are a perfect alternative for that. So this is the final look. It's a really good makeup to do from beginning of the night to the end of the night. If you don't wear any eyeshadow, you can always add an eyeliner and that one eyeshadow to really vamp up your nighttime look. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.